Let me ask you about a competitor and somebody who's become a friend. So Elon Musk and Tesla have announced and been in the early days of building a humanoid robot. How does that change the landscape of your work? So there's sort of from the outside perspective, it seems like, well, from a fan as a fan of robotics, it just seems exciting.
It's very exciting, right? When Elon speaks, people listen, and so it suddenly brought a bright light onto the work that we'd been doing, for over a decade, and and I think that's only going to help. And in fact, what we've seen is that in addition to Tesla, we're seeing a proliferation of robotic companies arise now.
Including humanoid.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and interestingly, many of them, as they're raising money, for example, will claim whether or not they have a former Boston Dynamics employee on their staff as a criteria.
Yeah, that's true. That's I would do that as a company, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
And shows you're legit, yeah.
yeah. So you know what? It has brought a tremendous validation to what we're doing and excitement. Uh, Competitive juices are flowing. The whole thing. So it's all good.
Elon has also kind of stated that you know, maybe he implied that the problem is solvable in the near term, which is a low cost humanoid robot that's able to do that's a relatively general use case robot. So I think Elon is known for sort of setting these kinds of incredibly ambitious goals, maybe missing deadlines, but actually pushing not just the particular team he leads, but the entire world to like accomplishing those. I mean, do you see Boston Dynamics in the near future being pushed in that kind of way? Like this excitement of competition kind of um, pushing Atlas maybe to do more cool stuff, trying to drive the cost of Atlas down perhaps? Or, I mean, I guess I want to ask if there's some kind of exciting uh, energy in Boston Dynamics due to this a little bit of competition.
Oh yeah, definitely. Um, when we released our most recent video of Atlas,
Mhm.
I think you had seen it, the scaffolding and throwing the box of tools around and then doing the flip at the end.
Yeah.
We were trying to show the world that not only can we do this parkour mobility thing, but we can pick up and move heavy things. Because if you're going to work in a manufacturing environment, that's what you got to be able to do. And for the reasons I explained to you earlier, it's not trivial to do so. Changing the center of mass, by picking up a 50-pound block, for a robot that weighs 150 pounds, that's a lot to accommodate. So we're trying to show that we can do that. And so it's totally been energizing. We see the next phase of Atlas being more dexterous hands that can manipulate and grab more things, that we're going to start by moving big things around that are heavy and that affect balance. And why is that? Well, really tiny dexterous things probably are going to be hard for a while yet.
Mhm.
And, maybe you could go build a special purpose robot arm, for stuffing, chips into electronics boards. But we don't really want to do really fine work like that. I think more coarse work where you're using two hands to pick up and balance an unwieldy thing, maybe in a manufacturing environment, maybe in a construction environment. Those are the things that we think robots are going to be able to do with the level of dexterity that they're going to have in the next few years. And that's where we're headed. And I think, and Elon has seen the same thing, right? He's talking about using the robots in a manufacturing environment. We think there's something very interesting there about having a two-armed robot, because when you have two arms, you can transfer a thing from one hand to the other. You can turn it around. You can reorient it in a way that you can't do it if you just have one hand on it. And so there's a lot that extra arm brings to the table.
So I think in terms of mission, you mentioned Boston Dynamics really wants to see what's the limits of what's possible, and so the cost comes second, or it's a component, but first figure out what are the limitations. I think with Elon, he's really driving the cost down. Is there some inspiration, some lessons you see there, um, of the challenge of driving the cost down, especially with Atlas, with a humanoid robot?
Well, I think the thing that he's certainly been learning by building car factories is what that looks like,
Yeah.
and scaling. By scaling, you can get efficiencies that drive costs down very well. And the smart thing that they have in their favor is that they know how to manufacture, they know how to build electric motors, they know how to build computers and vision systems. So there's a lot of overlap between modern automotive companies and robots. But hey, we have a modern automotive company behind us as well.
So bring it on.
Who's doing pretty well, right? The electric vehicles from Hyundai are doing pretty well.